George
Welcome,
doesn't want to
everyone.
dance with us.
The morning buzz. You gotta have the buzz of your coffee, or if you're
Yeah, I
Ryan,
don't have any
tea.
coffee. My hands are empty, but still a great morning today. It is Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. It's also one day before Leslie turns 19. So,
Woo.
Happy early birthday, Leslie.
happy birthday.
I thought it was called something else, Ryan.
Happy early birth anniversary, Leslie. That's what I call birthdays.
Alrighty.
Today is Wednesday, July 1st. This is the Morning Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm George Yamgochin, as always, also known as George, but you can just call me George.
Good to know. I mean, I always
George,
call you by
also
your
known
full
as
name,
George.
right?
The radio host formerly known as George.
Right. I'm Leslie, known as Leslie. Or Leslie Gallagher, but probably just Leslie, like George said. And so, the Morning Buzz has been doing a new theme each day of the week to celebrate the 4th of July. So today, George, Ryan, and I will be talking about some 4th of July outdoor activities and the possible risks of them amid COVID-19. But first, here's Ryan Trick with his newscast.
Thank you, Leslie. Early this morning, just before 1:20 a.m., 2 men and 1 woman were shot and injured on the 600 block of Lafayette Avenue in Pleasantville. Police received a call informing them that 3 gunshot victims were at Atlantic Care Regional Medical Center in Atlantic City. One 19-year-old man was treated and released for a gunshot wound to the leg, while an 18-year-old man was held overnight for a wound to the arm. And a 20-year-old woman was hospitalized for a wound both to the foot and upper back. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call Pleasantville Police at 609-641-6100 or Atlantic County Crime Stoppers at 609-652-1234. In Jackson, Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves signed a historic bill yesterday at the governor's mansion, immediately removing official status for the 126-year-old state flag, the last state flag in the U.S. with the Confederate battle emblem. Just before signing the bill, Governor Reeves said, quote, "This is not a political moment, but is a solemn occasion to lead our Mississippi family to come together, to be reconciled, and to move on. We are a resilient people defined by our hospitality. We are a people of great faith. Now, more than ever, we must lean on that faith, put our divisions behind us, and unite for a greater good," end quote. A commission to design a new flag will not include the Confederate symbol and must have the words, quote, "In God we trust," end quote. And voters will be asked to approve it in the November 3rd election. And Atlantic City casinos are reopening tomorrow, just in time for the July 4th weekend. However, gamblers will be under a host of special regulations to help protect both guests and staff from COVID-19. The most significant change you might find during your casino experience is the casinos will be barred from offering indoor dining and drinking, a decision that was made by Governor Phil Murphy in postponing the next step of the state's reopening. Other changes include a 25% limit on capacity, 1 vacant position must be present between each guest at each gambling table, and all casino hotels must be thoroughly cleaned and disinfected following CDC guidelines. Staff were also given detailed guidelines on how to react if they suspect a guest is infected with COVID-19. And for your weather forecast, it is a beautiful 75 degrees here in Bernardsville, New Jersey. Today we're going to have a high of 81 with a low of 61 degrees and a 60% chance of rain. Thank God my lawn needs it. Tomorrow we're going to have a high of 91 and a low of 68. And then on Friday we're going to wrap the week up with a high of 88 and a low of 63 with a 60% chance of rain. That's all from me. Back to you, Leslie and George.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Oh, and
Thank you,
you have
Ryan.
the mug with your tea, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Cheers.
good. Oh,
Got to get the boys
Second.
all ready.
yeah. Leslie, what mug do you have, by the way?
What mug?
Yeah. I know Ryan has a mug, but I wanted to. Oh, New
This
Jersey.
is a Center for Network Therapy mug. I don't know what that is, but
All right.
my mom's in the mental health field, so I'm assuming she got this from like some sort of convention or something. But it's my favorite mug. I just like the shape of it. That's it.
Great.
Not relevant at all.
So joining us today is former assistant promotions director and also journalist Sam Carliner. Sam was in occupied City Hall and also the New York City Chaz just 24 hours ago. And Sam, we wanted to hear, what was the turnout like and what was your experience during that time?
I unmuted myself. All right. They well, as you can hear from my voice, the experience was loud. It was amazing. I mean, it's just there was free food. There was a library set up. There were all these breakout groups to discuss different political ideas. And it was just this very strong sense of community. The turnout was, depending on when you showed up, it was always packed, but like sometimes it was packed. There was art everywhere. So that was the good part. But then the reason why I wanted to come on this show, and I very much appreciate you guys having me, is that 2 nights now, the camp was attacked by riot police, and I haven't seen too many people covering this. So I do appreciate being on the show to mention, 1, the community, 2, the violence that has been going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on, Sam. So we heard that you were hurt in one of the encounters between riot police and protesters. Can you walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, not hurt too bad, but it was at 5 a.m. I basically run over to, everyone's running around. It's sort of clear that the riot police are encircling the camp and are about to sort of charge on it. They're announcing that they're going to arrest protesters for blocking pedestrian traffic, despite the fact that the entire protest was within the park, the public space, and it was the riot police who were in the road. So they advanced, and I was recording, and that's on my Instagram. Basically, they're beating protesters, pepper spraying, and I'm sort of in the back of like the line of protesters. So when we're getting pushed, at one point I fall over like one of those metal grates that they use to surround trees, and my leg ended up getting gashed there. It wasn't too bad, but it was a, injury.
Yeah, and also given that I feel it seems like everyone that is there for a reason, but what do you think is the main cause of this group? What are they trying to get by?
Well, one thing that's interesting is that the protest was started by a group called Vocal New York, but like as soon as you get there, you kind of see it's very freeform. Like a bunch of groups have shown up to sort of try to push their own ideas, and the protest started as getting $1 billion. So the budget for the New York city was decided last night, and the protest was set up to try to get the budget made so that there were $6 billion going to the NYPD. The protest originally started to demand $1 billion be taken out of that money going to the New York Police Department. But after a week and a lot of groups and protesters showing up, it sort of turned into a free-form setting of just people who either have experience protesting or have never protested in their lives, meeting people in their community and discussing ideas of, obviously a lot of movements are springing up, a lot of discussions about politics that have never happened are happening. And this is sort of turned into an area where there's just constant open discussion. So they didn't get the budget approved. I woke up this morning to find that out, that the demands of the protesters were not met. But there are still, the camp is still there, and there are people who are discussing, okay, now that we didn't get the original demand, what are some other things we can do with this movement and the people we've met in the future?
And also,
No, you got.
yeah. And I also wanted to know: are most people wearing masks at the protest?
That's actually a great thing. Walking through Manhattan, a lot of people are not wearing masks. But then you get to the protest, and there's definitely people who don't have masks. But most people, the most people I've seen in New York wearing masks, it's at the protest. Almost everyone does. They have free masks being handed out. there's a food service station. They're like, you have to sanitize and wear a mask if you're going to be interacting with us. So that is a big emphasis that they, of course, it's hard to enforce everyone wears a mask, but there is that sense of, yeah, if you're going to be here, you should make sure that you're watching out for people's health. I wore a mask, by the way.
Good.
Great.
So, what are your thoughts on how effective this movement is?
That's, I think, a hard question because I mean, as I said before, their demands weren't met. They were not able to get the $1 billion divested. But I think in the long run, it could be very effective because, I mean, just if you go there, it's pretty clear right away, like people are having conversations that they never imagined possible, and whether or not those lead to anything or what they lead to, we'll see. But I think there's this sense that like people are getting seriously invested in what is my part in the world? What can I do to try to shape the future, look out for people, create the world I want to see? And I have a hard time believing that you have thousands and thousands of people going to that every day for a week without it leading to some type of larger movement that, even if they don't defund the police, that at least leads to some change in American politics that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, definitely, Sam. So, according to Forbes, Greta Thunberg proclaimed that, quote, pretty much nothing had been done, and, quote, since the staging school strikes to raise awareness of the climate crisis back in 2018. While Micah White, co-creator of Occupy Wall Street, has said that social change, as we know it, is, I mean, pretty much dead. I guess, what would you say on that?
I think that it's very reasonable to be pessimistic, and I'd be lying if I said that a few months ago I wasn't super pessimistic about the future. Uh, but I think, as I think I mentioned last time I was on the show, I'm very interested in history, and I think what this moment is showing me, mixed with my interest in history, is that things can change in a second. I think that we're not going to see like serious changes in the world for a while. We might not see it in our lifetime, but if you actually look at history, the most serious, movements in humanity, they take decades or centuries to happen. But that doesn't mean that the work that happens when there's no like changes being made didn't matter. A lot of times, these types of protests and these types of movements have to happen in order for new developments. So I think that just because we're not seeing, material like political switching right now doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's just that it's in the early stages of happening.
Does that
Definitely.
ever? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, does the fact that like no immediate change is happening, does that um like cause any like negative feelings, or do you like that in the back of your mind you have hope that it will change? Like, how do you feel about all of that?
It depends on the day. It definitely depends on the day. But I will say that most up until like this year, I was always optimistic, but had that feeling that like how bad do things have to get before the way people understand the world changes. However you want to interpret that, I think whatever your political leanings, we all knew that things weren't really going anywhere. And whatever you feel about these protests now, I'll be honest, I support them. But regardless of what you feel, I think every American or most Americans are starting to just feel a difference in energy and feel that we are witnessing a type of progress that actually is like different than the years and years that we had experienced before. So right now, I'm optimistic that even if it's not the world I want to see, like at least there's gonna be a new world. Like it's not like we're gonna spend their. I'm not gonna spend my life just watching everyone talk about like this thing needs to be addressed, and then we all just forget about it.
Yeah, totally. And before we go any further, I just wanted to run through these really quick. So, as the world now faces the deepest economic downturn since the Great Depression, there will be greater social unrest and calls for a new set of solutions. And youth movements, which what you've been taking part of, will need to find a more mature form of activism to counter the popularized forms of Puritanism that have prevailed. Experts offer four considerations for young change makers as they seek a more just and equitable world. Learn from the past, become part of the system change, avoid heropreneurship, and know your place. And it seems like with everything going on, there has been a lot of great youth movements that pretty much have been showing that people want to see change. So
Yeah. And just to clarify for listeners as well, heropreneurship, and this might be a term I think you're aware of, Sam, is it describes the growing trend right now that credits social change just to the founder of an organization or movement exclusively, when really the change should be attributed to everyone who takes part of it, because
I
change can't just come from one person.
I know this segment has to be quick, but I did want to say that actually is really ties into the camp because you have a lot of original organizers, and you can usually tell one because their voice is more dead than mine right now, or they'll have a mic. But one thing they've been emphasizing is like they're there to support you if there's like a dispute or a question, but they always emphasize like I'm organizing, but that doesn't mean that I'm leading. Like, there's this very strong emphasis that the original organizers are there to sort of guide people, but not to like, but that everyone makes decisions sort of through a public forum, through their own action, what they want to do. And so I think that they sort of address heropreneurship and don't support it from what I can tell.
Yeah. Well, Sam, thank you so much for keeping us updated and coming on the show. Please, where can people find you? Because I know you post videos on your Instagram and on your socials of you covering these protests.
I've been sharing a lot on my Twitter, which is at Sam in the can. I report a bit less on my Instagram, but I did share a video, which is at Sam underscore in the can. And then I guess to avoid heropreneurship myself, I do want to say that even if you don't follow my coverage, hashtag Occupy City Hall is sort of the official hashtag of people who are at the camp reporting on things as they happen in real time. So if you want to learn about, what's going on there, don't just follow me. I'm back in New Jersey right now. Follow the hashtag Occupy City Call, Occupy City Hall, and you can probably have a good depiction of what's going on there.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much, Sam
Yeah.
Carlin, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good one. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
And
you too, guys.
please stay safe enough to come back, Sam.
Absolutely.
We look forward to having you.
Thank you.
So, we do have a themed show, I believe.
Yeah, it's Canada Day, right?
It is ironically Canada Day
It is
on
so
the
funny to
4th
me
of
that.
in the middle of 4th of July week here on the Morning Butts.
I'm sorry, I thought it was so funny.
It's pretty great. It's pretty quality irony. Happy Canada Day to all you Canadians out there. I don't know how many are listening.
I don't think they're right.
Go hug your local Canadian, and by hug I mean air hug, of course.
Local?
Yeah, I don't know. Your resident
I'm pretty sure
Canadian.
Canada.
Go wish your
Canada,
resident
like,
Canadian
closed
a happy
down?
Canada Day.
I actually had two school teachers in third grade who were Canadian.
There
And
you go.
yeah.
Shoot them an email, Happy Canada Day, and they're gonna be like, "Who are you, and why are you wishing me a Happy Canada Day? Thank you, anyways."
You know what? Canadians are so like with the stereotype of them being nice, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
would just be like, "I don't care who you are, thank you."
Yeah, exactly. I gotta be honest. I know some. Some of my friends are Canadian online, and I know some Canadians who can get real salty real quick. But no, overall they are pretty nice.
I thought you were gonna say they were salty about being wished a happy Canada Day.
No, they might be.
It's really odd.
I'll keep you updated on that. I'll wish them a happy Canada Day soon.
Thank
But
you.
no. Besides Canada Day, it is 4th of July week here on the Morning Buzz. So what do you guys have for us today?
We're talking about outdoor activities. And I feel like we've briefly, I don't know whether we've discussed it on air or off air, maybe both, but I feel like at some point it's come up how we're all like a child inside, like all three of us. Am I wrong? Am I
You're
remembering?
never too old to ride on the back of a shopping cart.
Okay, I'm
I
glad you
will
brought that
live and
up.
die by that phrase.
Or in one of those shopping
Ryan.
cars that you're able to, like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Need for Speed, Tokyo Drift down the aisles. Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, something happened that I witnessed the other day, and I immediately thought of you. And I almost
I'm
texted you, but then I remember
intrigued.
you never answer texts. So I did text.
Wow.
I texted you one time, and you never answered. So I was like, I'll
I
just
didn't.
wait.
I'm so sorry. What did you see?
What I saw. Okay, so I was going into the store
Breaking news by
to buy
Leslie.
some dog food,
Okay.
and as I'm walking in with my little cart, I see like this. I'm gonna guess he was like 70. He was like 70-year-old man, and he was like walking out of the store, and then the minute he got off like the sidewalk part and on the street part, like to the parking lot, he literally hopped on the back of his cart and like zoomed into his car.
That's
And I
me
was
from
like,
the future.
I'm pretty sure that's like Ryan, and he
Yeah.
came back to the
Yeah,
to
that's
2020
me
to buy
from the
dog food.
future. That's me in like 50 years when time travel's invented, just coming back and messing with you, Leslie.
It was
Um,
insane, and he had like no hesitation. Like this was like a normal day for him.
oh, absolutely. Like I said, you're
Like
never
I
too
was
old to
like
ride on the back of a shopping cart. We
I was
are
like
all
really
kids
nervous.
inside. Yeah.
Well, this whole station is full of kids. I don't care if you call us adults or grown-ups. No, I am a kid. I will maintain till the day I get my first job. I am still a kid. I'm still a kid.
Exactly.
If you have a backpack and you're taking classes, you're still a kid in my mind.
Exactly.
I may be 19 tomorrow, but I'm actually 9.
You're actually 9. 9 going on 19.
Oh yeah, so the whole segue, the point about pointing out how childlike we are, not childish, childlike,
Yeah.
was that I have some outdoor activities for kids that I found.
Oh, family friendly, family fun activities. Oh
Yes.
God, the first one. Okay.
The first one is like a classic at a carnival, like some balloon darts.
Yeah.
Balloons lined up on a wall, and you just try to hit them.
I'll be honest, as a kid, I don't think my dad would trust me with sharp balloon darts with my friends. Although I
Fair
did
enough.
know how to play darts as a kid, I feel like if he sent me out with a pack of darts and a bunch of balloons, he knew something would go wrong. I would try and make flying dart ships, like tie the balloons to the darts. Don't
Oh,
try that at home, kids.
that sounds scary.
Well, you can always
But
actually
yeah.
don't. Well, I don't know.
well, parent supervision.
Yeah.
Make balloon dart ships with your parents. Um,
The real question is do you still need adult supervision even though you're technically adult?
I don't want to answer that question. My dad, to this day, when he leaves the house, jokingly says, "Don't burn the house down," and I'm like, "Aha, haven't done it yet."
My mom did the same thing too.
Yeah. So, balloon darts, always fun for the kids. Oh man, I wish I had my dartboard. I would totally do that today. The next one, so fireworks, right?
Yes, I've never done fireworks like myself. Like I know some people do. I like watching them. Why are you shocked?
You've never done fireworks by yourself?
No.
Like
Hold up,
really?
What about the
No,
sparklers?
I've never done them.
Have you done Yeah, sparklers. Have you done sparklers?
Sparklers, like
Okay,
at like one
at
party.
least you've
one
done
time.
sparklers. Yeah. Now everyone needs to do sparklers at least once. Fireworks, interestingly enough, please, if you are going to do fireworks and you are listening, please, first, I guess, the first and foremost, obviously, please be safe and not stupid when you do it. I don't recommend, and I feel like nobody should recommend drinking while playing with fireworks. Because we report on too many bad stories of people's eyebrows getting burned off, etc. My little cousin once burned his eyebrows off with sparklers, but that's a different story. um,
Shouldn't lie.
and also, and this is a problem that I've actually been seeing amongst one of my friends. I believe he lives. Oh God, I forget where he lives. He lives near Montclair. Um, where people have been shooting off fireworks at night. Please be considerate of your neighbors. Please do not shoot off fireworks at like 2 a.m, especially if fireworks are illegal in your town, because that's what's been going on in his neighborhood.
Mhm.
We've been on the phone at like midnight, and I'll just hear like exploding in the background, and he's like, "You've got to be kidding me." He has had people shooting off fireworks for 2 weeks straight.
You're kidding. Like leading up to 4th of
Every
July?
single night for 2 weeks straight, people in his neighborhood are shooting off fireworks. So please shoot off fireworks some other time than midnight on like a Tuesday. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Like
and I
if
was
you're
seeing
doing it on 4th of July, that makes sense.
That's fine. And you can't be mad for people shooting off some American pride up into the sky, but like on 4th of July. But I mean, it's like,
So like
hey, happy June 28th fireworks. It's
Yeah, I
I
was
would
seeing this
literally be
happen
so mad.
in New York
yeah.
City. Like, I'm sorry, but I was seeing this happen in New York City, in like Brooklyn and Queens. How there'd be like, some hooligans shooting fireworks off at 1 a.m, and they'd be waking everyone up in the neighborhood. Like that would just,
Fireworks are loud.
yeah,
They're loud when they're not nearby. So
Mm.
you've never shot them off, Leslie, but you've watched them. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who haven't shot off fireworks and are thinking of doing it, um, they're loud. Be warned. You think they're loud when you're watching a fireworks display? Yeah, those are like way bigger than the ones you're probably gonna be shooting off, but like they're pretty loud. So like actually please don't do it at like midnight because they pretty much wake up easily an entire neighborhood.
I feel like that would also like damage your ears if you did that a lot. You'd have to wear something to protect your ears.
If you get big enough ones, yeah, normally people will like cover their ears when they fire it off, but yeah. Fireworks. Please don't play with
Fireworks.
fire unless you're with your parents. Then let your parents play with fire. That's what I
Let your
always did. Yeah. Hand
The
my
next
dad a box of matches. Dad, set it on fire for me. And he'd say, no, go play with your friends or something.
go
Go
play
play
with
with your balloon darts.
darts are safer than fire.
Yeah, darts are safer than fire. These statistics are not pulled from anywhere.
No.
the viewers
However,
of WMSC are not affiliated with the station, only by the talent.
yeah, only opinions and quote unquote facts due to this topic are that from the talent. Darts are safer than fire unless you mix them. Please don't mix
Oh,
darts and
don't. That's
fire.
just a nightmare. No, God, no.
A
That's just.
nightmare. That sounds awesome.
Well, I mean, if unless you're doing it with Johnny Knoxville or Steve-O, then yeah, it would be cool. But like with someone that you don't trust it with, no.
Yeah.
You want to move on to something a little bit safer? I think I should.
Yeah.
I think we should.
What's safer?
How about American flag themed face paint? Is that really cool?
That
Absolutely.
sounds safe and fun.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are using face or body paint. Please don't use like actual household paint. It sounds crazy. I laugh because it blows my mind that at how dumb people can be sometimes. Please
Not
do
really.
not use actual lead face paint or lead paint, like, because
Over
people
your
will do
face.
that. And then they're like, "Oh God, I'm in the hospital for lead poisoning. Gee, how did that happen?" And they walk in with like an American flag painted on their face, or like a cat painted on their face in like, I don't know, what is that, like the Decker like house paint or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like the oil paint.
don't do that.
Wanted to do a Bob Ross, happy little tree in your face, then all of a sudden you're in the hospital. You don't want that.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Now I
Yes.
should ask before we go, what if y'all had face paint as a kid? What was your like go-to face paint? You have one?
I-
Go-to?
I'm trying to.
I think I did butterfly a couple times.
Okay.
It's just like it's colorful and cute. But if you asked me now, what I would do now, I would probably do like cat or like unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Little,
All right,
that'd be cute, right?
George.
I was either a tiger or Spider-Man because I really loved Spider-Man when I was very young, and I would have the whole like the eyes and
Yep.
the black lines going down the face. And,
Yep. Spider-Man's a good one. I always did. I usually did a skeleton. I
mm,
did a skeleton.
Oh.
Sometimes I would also do Spider-Man. Because I mean, Spider-Man's awesome.
yeah.
Uh, Annabella, this just in, she always did Kiss.
Yes.
Kiss paint. That's pretty sweet, actually.
That's
Paul
funny.
Stanley. Um,
You know what? I'm a little bit. I'm actually kind of a little bit of a hardcore Kiss fan, and I would, if I had to choose one of the makeups, since I'm a drummer, I would go with Eric Carr's The Fox, which is it's a little bit of a low key makeup, but it's still, rest in peace, Eric Carr. You filled
Classic.
in, yeah.
yeah,
So,
I can imagine that. I can imagine you drumming for Kiss in like face paint.
my hair
Yeah,
needs to be longer though. I
it
have
needs to
to,
be much longer. We
yeah.
need to be in quarantine for much
Darker.
longer. I finally got a haircut, thank God. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Now, what was his name-o?
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Do you get it, Leslie?
I
Bingo
took
was
way
his
too
name.
long to get that joke.
4th of July themed bingo. That was my dad joke of the day. I promise I'll only have like at least 4 more.
At least 4.
4th of July. I almost said America Day themed bingo. Sure, America Day themed bingo.
Jerk day.
With your family. You can probably find it on Google. I don't know where to find it, but
In this article, it had like symbols, like a flag would be one of the symbols in the box, and then something else, like maybe like a sparkler or something. I feel
oh,
like
so,
you could take it up a notch and do like an American like fun fact about history, and then have that fun fact match like an image, and your kids actually learn things.
oh, there you go. In the world of teaching from home, you can use 4th of July as a way to teach kids about America from home using
Yeah.
bingo and flaming lawn darts.
For instance, I have a good
Cool.
trivia question for you all. Here we
All
go.
right. Hit me with it.
So, do you know the phrase "Don't give up the ship" from the War of 1812? The famous phrase, "Don't give
Don't
up
give
the
up
ship."
the ship? No.
Okay,
Not
so I
familiar.
guess I can't ask this, but I'll ask it anyway.
Okay.
So, what ship were they talking about? It was
The
during the
SS America.
war.
Was I
Good
close?
guess. No, you're pretty close, but it is wrong, unfortunately.
Ah. I heard America was my history teacher once told me America is the answer to all questions in history. And I was
Well,
like,
actually,
okay.
the answer to everything in history is 42. Yep, that's it. Annabella just
Annabella got it. Chesapeake.
Chesapeake.
Dang it, Annabella. Why are you smarter than us? Stop this.
She's wiser.
She is. She paid attention in history class.
She
Yeah.
loves history.
Loves
This is
history.
thing.
I think out of all of these, I would probably most likely be the kid playing with darts in the lawn. What about you
I
guys?
Yeah.
What would you most likely do?
Out of these 4 options of balloon darts, fireworks, American flag themed face paint, and 4th of July themed bingo, I guess my favorite would also be darts. I
Yeah,
love that.
I
game.
actually would have pegged you for like bingo.
Honestly,
very
I almost said
studious.
bingo.
Really?
I almost said bingo. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
I was gonna
kinda
say
torn.
you brought up the idea of learning like with bingo, and you seemed to get kind of excited. I was
I
like,
was.
oh, she's totally a bingo person. Yeah,
I'm gonna torture my
George.
children one day with making them learn on holidays. Why do we
There
have
you
this holiday?
go. Exactly.
Tell
You
me.
can't celebrate until you learn.
Literally, you can't have your cupcake until you tell me a fun fact about America. That'll be
George,
me.
what about you? Out of the
Yeah, I
4,
would actually. I'm a sparkler guy. When I'm down the shore, I get my sparklers out and I celebrate. And also, not on this list, but cornhole and frisbee and barbecue and
oh yeah,
yeah.
barbecue. Easily barbecue. My version of barbecue is much different than the New Jersey version of barbecue, but yes, I agree on both sides.
Yes.
What's a New Jersey version? Burgers and hot
So
dogs?
New Jersey barbecue is burgers and dogs. When I hear barbecue, the southern in me immediately instinctively thinks ribs, brisket, pulled
Oh,
pork.
I
Yeah.
forget you're not from New Jersey most of the
I
time.
am from many places.
Oh, you bring it
Yeah.
up like every other show too, and I just keep forgetting because I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because
I'm from everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
the
I
a-
once did,
thing,
I once
Ryan,
did an accent test, and it couldn't peg where my accent was from.
You
yeah,
sound like
Ryan.
normal.
The interesting thing is, I would hear sometimes your voice lapse into like a southern smooth molasses drawl, which is like,
It does. I do have a draw sometimes. And it's weird when I go down to Texas to visit family. I actually my draw comes out. So if I ever go to Texas and come back to do the show, it hasn't happened yet since I've been to the station. But if it does, I will not sound like me. I will
I would
sound like
love
a
to see
very
that.
southern version of me.
I
have
It,
you,
wanted to be Southern Ryan.
Southern Ryan is the same as regular Ryan. My accent just completely shifts to
You say
Southern.
y'all a lot?
I always say y'all. Yeah.
Me too,
I'll
though.
draw out my Y's too. So I say Y instead of Y.
Huh.
It's a weird accent difference.
Wow.
Anyways,
Anyways, now moving on from I don't even
so we
know.
got the big
Yeah.
four, I guess. Now here's
So we
some
got
classics, right?
some classic games. And then on this other article I saw, they have something called red, white, and blue tag. George,
yes,
would you like to explain what blue, white, and tag
Red,
red,
white, and
white, and
blue
blue
tag.
tag is?
You do it. Colors are hard. It's okay.
well, I would love to, Leslie, definitely very much. So each player is given an item that is either red, white, or blue, which can be tokens or ribbons. The object of the game is to collect an item from each color group. Players do this by tagging other players when they have to surrender their item to the tagger. And
It sounds
Interesting.
fun.
yeah, that would be fun. That would
It's
be
a
very
good twist on tag.
I was always a tag and manhunt kid as a
Me
kid.
too.
Yeah. I was never into sports as a kid, but I was always into tag and manhunt.
Yeah.
I
So
was always a
I
dog.
love also, I don't know why, this reminded me like I didn't like playing like sports in gym class, but I loved
Hmm.
playing like capture the flag, which was basically like easy
Sports.
football, but I didn't
Yeah.
like football. Like what?
That's
This
you,
reminds me of
George.
that.
George, you always pegged me as a sports guy because you want to be a sports caster. So I imagine you being that guy in gym class. Yeah, and
Yeah, if you can see, yeah, my
the
room.
hilarious amount of sports paraphernalia in the background.
Yeah. I love dodgeball. I was always a dodgeball fanatic,
Oh,
and
yeah, that's not on
I
this list, but it should be.
yeah, totally. But yeah,
Question though.
Hmm.
If we, the three of us and a bunch of other people at WMSC or Morning Buzz or whoever were to play red, white, and blue tag, who do you think would win?
somebody has to be very quick and like faster than the golden snitch, which is impossible, but you
I
never.
have I have two ideas in mind. I think I have one being me because I go hard in tag, dude. I'll tackle people, man. I go hard in tag. I love tag ever since I was a kid. Um, Me or Kaya because Kaya I can imagine being very squirrely, just like you said, the golden snitch,
I can see that.
right?
Kaya, are you listening?
If
You'd
Kaya
win.
is listening, Kaya, please
Hi, Kaya.
help us out with red, white, and blue tag. You
I
will
feel
be
like
our golden snitch and drive us to victory.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like I
also
don't know enough people to like pick who
Yeah.
I think would win, but I'll agree with you there.
yeah,
What do you think, George?
I think Nate Williams after backflipping during college radio day, he has the athleticism to pull anything off.
Yeah.
So
I think Nate is like that low key super athletic. Just doesn't let anybody know. Nate's like a professional tagger.
mm,
Anyways, that was thunder. Speaking of the weather that I mentioned earlier, if you could just hear through my microphone, I think lightning just struck like on like my street. Fun enough.
oof.
Next.
I didn't hear anything.
Now, I'm an art guy. I like
Me?
art. You're an art gal.
I'm
We
an
do
art gal.
photos. We do drawings.
Okay, I can't draw, but I love to paint. I love doing crafts. I love anything I could put glitter on.
Uh-oh, Georgia's got a
Here we
paint.
go.
Did you make that?
In eighth grade, when I had long hair, this is a self-portrait.
You're blue. Go on to
Quality,
YouTube after this
George.
is uploaded to see George's painting of himself.
Yes,
Ryan,
if
are
you
you
would
getting
like
it?
to see any visuals being shown, feel free to check out us on Facebook or check us out on YouTube after the fact.
Is that your photo?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
one of the first photos I ever took.
Is that the
That's-
Manhattan Bridge?
Oh.
I have no clue what bridge it was, but I remember taking it on my phone from a car window. Fun fact.
Of your phone?
But
Dude, oh my god. That is like
yep, thunder. That's okay though, because thunder can't stop our artisticism.
Okay, I
Artissimism.
I do have some art nearby that I've recently done that I would show, but I'm a little nervous because
It's okay. You don't have to show your work to the class.
it's because I made an arts and craft thing for my mom and my sister's birthday. And
Mm.
I don't think they're watching this because I think they're working. But
Don't show
basically
it just in case they are. You never know.
they
Never know. Don't do it. The universe will pull them to watch. I know this because I once made a joke about my dad on air because I was sure he wasn't listening, and surely enough, his meeting got canceled. He was listening and totally called me out for the joke.
oh my god.
Yeah, I get a
Yeah.
text from him 2 seconds after I make it. He's like, "Hey, that was pretty funny," and I was like, "Uh." Anyways,
Yeah.
so for
I want
arts
to-
and crafts, sand art. I don't know if you guys ever did sand art. I love sand art. I once made a Coca-Cola bottle sand art.
Oh,
You
I want
can red, white, and blue sand art. Just use like food coloring, sand, little food jars, make little patriotic sand art. You
that's so
know,
cute.
I also realized that red, white, and blue are like the colors of other countries' flags too. So if
France,
yeah,
UK.
France. So if you want to make a Fourth of July themed thing, don't accidentally layer it like the French flag. If you do, though, it'd be pretty funny.
How would you even like do the American flag with sand though? Like, that sounds kind of impossible. Like you
Very carefully. I don't think you could do it.
I
But if
guess
you
you could just
can,
colors though.
I mean, if you do end up, if you get this idea from the buzz and you do end up making an American flag themed sand art, feel free to tweet us at WMSC using the hashtag WMSC Buzz. There's the plug. You could also do, like we said, the balloon dart game. But instead of maybe buying balloons, you can try and make your own little colored balloons and paint them in kind of like the shape of a flag. Do little point-based things. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do. Lawn
God, get
stars.
creative.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this like little blog thing, the painted lawn stars, like I know that sounds probably like really underwhelming, but in the image on the blog, it looked really, really cute. It was basically like giant stars on the lawn, like on the grass, and it was just painted like red, white, and blue stars. So I feel like if you were having like a backyard party or something, that would be like really cute. Just like
Yeah.
some
So here are
automatic
some of the
flooring.
here
Yes.
are some of the little, oh, these are cute little sand art jars.
That's like the
Could also do
Luxembourg flag.
windstocks, bracelets.
Yeah, this is the
There it is.
Wow. Oh,
The
the
that's
flag
balloon.
balloon dart game. Exactly how I imagined.
Cute,
All,
right?
all
It's
sorts of cute
the
things
vibe.
that can be done.
These are the
yeah.
stars. I
These are
love
the
them.
okay. That's actually really nice. Painted lawn stars. The idea is you paint stars in your lawn. Okay, I thought they were like cardboard things that you painted and stuck in your lawn, but that's actually
No,
way
it's like
better.
on the grass. Like I thought that was so cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else? And you don't need
Yeah.
like a ton of supplies to like do these things either. I mean, like you can, go ahead and look these up later, but like they don't like seem very complicated if you're like making decorations and trying to make your life more festive.
They seem pretty simple, and I like that stuff about that kind of aspect of DUI stuff. It seems good. And of course, there's always the classic tie-dye shirt
Yes.
that you can
Yeah.
make. You
The
know.
last thing that I like from this list was DIY 4th of July shirts, where I feel like you could either like do a tie dye, but this article suggested like getting like a plain white shirt and fabric paint and like stencils, and like the stencils were like said something like Happy 4th of July or something like that.
There you go.
And
I
like they're
think we-
pretty adorable.
I think we should make like a WMSC Etsy or Pinterest where we just put all of our crafts on and want to show it off to the world.
Oh yeah.
That's adorable.
Now, with all these fun things, though, um, like we said, got to be safe when playing with fire and lawn darts.
And Corona.
and I and coronavirus. I bit my tongue off for a joke there.
No.
So from camping to dining out, here's how experts rate the risks of 14 summer activities. Leslie, explain to us as more lightning strikes on my street.
Oh my goodness.
Are you
Okay.
like Poseidon or something? Are you like Percy Jackson? Like
I might be. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be a news flash to me.
A literal flash of lightning.
Maybe I wish I could be
dad
the Flash.
joke.
It'd be so cool. I'd be so much more productive.
You're learning very well, young Padawan. The dad joke.
Okay, anyways. It's been a couple months of quarantine for everyone, so the urge to get out and enjoy summer is real. But this list from NPR has basically asked a panel of infectious disease and public health experts to rate the risk of summer activities, from backyard gatherings like the 4th of July party, or to a day at the pool, or sharing a vacation house with another household. One big warning is that your personal risk depends on your age, your health, the prevalence of the virus in your area, the precautions you take during any of these activities. Also, many areas continue to restrict the activities described here, so check your local laws. And of course, we've seen a lot of changes in New Jersey, especially. And there's no such thing as a zero risk outing right now. As states begin allowing businesses and public areas to reopen, decisions about what's safe will be up to individuals. It can help to think through the risks the way experts do.
Dr. William Miller, an epidemiologist, I'm not saying that right, at Ohio State University explains, quote, "We can think of transmission risk with a simple phrase, time, space, people, place," end quote. Here's his rule of thumb. The more time you spend and the closer in space you are to any infected people, the higher your risk. Interacting with more people raises your risk, and indoor places are riskier than outdoors. Dr. Emily Landon, a hospital epidemiologist and infectious diseases specialist at the University of Chicago Medicine, has her own shorthand quote. "Always choose outdoors over indoor. Always choose masking over not masking, and always choose more space for fewer people over smaller space." End quote.
So the first activity that they're sort of evaluating for risk would be your own BYOB, backyard gathering with one other household. So I guess that would, be like you and maybe your neighbors or something like that. And they say that's a low to medium risk. Meeting in a spacious outdoor area with only a small group isn't too risky. Our experts say that safety here depends on whom you invite and what their behaviors have been. Dr. Judith Guzman Cottrell, a pediatric infectious disease expert at Oregon Health and Science University, said, quote, "If you're having a gathering with one other household that has followed social distancing, this would be low risk. To lower the risk, avoid sharing food, drinks, or utensils. Making it a BYO everything party would, definitely lower the risk." Dr. Andrew Janowski, a pediatric infectious disease expert at Washington University in St. Louis, notes that the food itself isn't the risk, but touching shared dishes or utensils could be.
And also another, a medium to high risk example is eating indoors at a restaurant. So indoor dining is still amongst the riskier things you can do, Landon warns. The trouble is, says Miller, people tend to linger in restaurants. So even if spacing is okay, the duration of exposure is longer. Also, he says talking appears to lead some release of the virus. And what alters the risk? Janowski says the risk level depends on how well the restaurant has adapted from the pandemic. Eateries should reduce and space out seating, require servers to wear masks, and offer easy access to hand washing stations.
Yeah, that's why eating indoors recently has been, pulled back in New Jersey. But a low risk thing that actually surprised me from this article was they said that spending the day at a popular beach or a pool would be low risk, which I guess is reassuring, but also I don't know how much I believe that. Does anyone? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
no, that's true. As long as you can stay socially distanced, I feel like it'd be a pretty safe activity, and experts do say that as well. You just have to watch out for crowds at entry points and especially public bathrooms. Maintain social distance both on land and in the water. And they experts do say that beach is better than a pool in terms of space, so it's good to go early in the morning or late in the afternoon when the crowds are lower, and look for beaches that mark off spots for people where they set up their areas, not just open beaches that don't have like strict guidelines in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another high risk or medium to high risk example is an outdoor celebration such as a wedding with more than 10 guests. And so family oriented celebrations are usually a summer tradition. They come with a lot of risk. The larger the guest list, the greater the potential that one of them is infected. And yeah, so if you're gonna have a wedding, just keep it small.
Just be safe. Yeah, simple as that.
I would rather just hold off my wedding than make it like a constrained one, though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's whatever people want to do.
I guess.
Another one on this list that surprised me was using a public restroom apparently is low to medium risk.
Yeah,
Restrooms.
I've been holding it when I go out, man. I'm not going to public bathrooms anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
And especially if you're a lady who has to sit on them, no, I don't think so.
It says there isn't quite yet sufficient data to know if there's risk from toilet flushes aerolizing the virus. However, what alters the risk? The main risk comes from restrooms just being small and busy and usually poorly ventilated. Sadly,
Like
like
gas
restrooms,
station,
like gas stations and just smaller places like a CVS or whatever.
So if you're on a road trip, don't go to the bathroom, is our advice.
No, well,
that's a joke, by the way.
yeah, that's a joke.
Some humor.
And of course, letting your friend use the restroom, pretty low risk.
Like if you had them over to your house and there weren't a lot of people coming into your house, I guess it would be low risk. That's also reassuring.
Yeah.
And another one, these keep surprising me. Going to a vacation house with another family is low risk.
Yeah.
But if people have been quarantining and social distancing, if people have not been, then your risk slowly increases, which, my sister recently went to a vacation house with her boyfriend and his family, and this does put me at ease a little bit. Like, it wasn't super high risk for her, but at the same time, I don't really know where that whole family's been, and it wasn't just an immediate family too. It was like a lot of extended family. So I don't know. I feel like there's so many factors that come into play. But anyway, we can move on.
Well, yeah, it's true. Also, have you ever been camping, George?
Yeah, very. When I was a Cub Scout, I do remember going camping, and yeah, that is a low risk example. So.
Yeah, I same. I'd go camping as a Cub Scout. Never went camping before, or rather after that, like serious camping. But going camping is a low risk, thankfully. You're in the outdoors. You're camping. Just stay safe. Stay away from other people. If you go to a campsite, don't be all up against other people in the campsite.
Stay away from bears, which can bring us to something else.
Stay away from bears unless
Except
you're trying to save them. There we go. We're on the same wavelength, Leslie. Digging it.
Wavelength. I don't know what I'm doing.
Your hand is a dolphin. That's what's happening. Yeah.
But that before we do get to that though, also this is a very common one. Exercising outdoors is a low risk as long as you are careful about it. I do see people jogging all the time. That's usually fine. However, experts do recommend avoiding contact sports. Please. That's why a lot of parks are closed right now if you can't get the hint. Hiking, kayaking, boating, stuff like that.
Stuff where you're isolated from other people.
Yeah, exactly. Things you can stay away from other people, unless you're trying to not stay away from a bear. Trying to rescue a bear.
which is pretty rare. That doesn't happen a lot, but we
It's
found
pretty
a
rare
family.
you try to rescue a bear.
There's a family, though, in Wisconsin recently that wasn't expecting to save a bear's life, but it happened to embark on an excursion on Marshmiller Lake. Trisha, Brian, and Brady Hurt were fishing this weekend when Trisha said that they encountered a small swimming bear with its head trapped inside a plastic cheese ball container. As the family pulled the boat beside the paddling bear and attempted to remove the tub, the animal became distressed, trying to hold its head above water. Eventually, they were able to dislodge the plastic container from its head. And for those of
We're
you
out here
watching,
fishing at.
we have a video.
Get closer. You gotta get up there closer. Turn that way a little bit. We got a bear here. Poor thing's got a tub on its head. Oh, he's getting scared.
Yeah.
Oh, trying to figure out how we're gonna get this tub off his head. Yeah, go a little faster, Brady. You gotta get in front of him. Oh, Brady, slow down. Oh,
I had to be on there.
I know.
Get it off.
Oh.
Yeah, he's drunk.
It's just a baby bear here.
Come on, big guy. Come on.
Circle around, Brady. Circle around quick. Brady, just get around him. Get back on the other side of him.
He almost got it off.
I know he did.
One more pull and I would have had it.
Oh,
You did a good job. You just got to do it one more time. Come on.
get up there. Get up there. Get up there.
This way. Slow down.
Slow down.
No, slow down.
Slow down. Slow down. Wait down.
Can't let him get on shore. We won't let him get it off.
Yeah, and we won't. Yeah, not only won't. Just don't want him crawling in here either. Let's get it off.
Keep coming.
Yep. Keep coming. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go. We saved our little bear.
Good job, buddy. Head for
Swim
shore.
happy.
And a beautiful sunset to finish the video.
Wow.
This has been a night. Oh, guys.
I want to just make sure he makes
guys,
it to shore. Yeah.
I didn't.
That's
Certainly
awesome.
was nice. Wow.
I can't imagine trying to do that. Well, I'd be freaking out, man, trying to pull a thing off of a bear's head.
It seems so difficult, but like the way he did it in the video, like he did it like effortlessly. Like he literally like just like pulled it up
Oh
like
yeah, once he got it, once he got there, he literally just grabbed it and got a good pull on it.
Yeah. And Trisha Hahn did tell Huffington Post that the baby bear made it safely to shore, and she wrote on her Facebook, quote, "Never dreamt we would have ever do this in our lifetime," end quote. So yeah, it truly was a great story.
And I loved it. I love finishing off with cute little stories like that, especially with animals. Always warms my heart. So stay safe, please, on the 4th of July. Don't paint your face with lead paint. If you want to do flaming balloon lawn darts, do it with parent supervision. Don't shoot off fireworks at 2 a.m. Yeah.
don't go to gas station restrooms and
Stay away from gas station restrooms.
Wash
I
your
don't know,
hands.
George.
wash
What do
your
you got?
Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah, so
Wash
I
your
mean-
hands.
wash your hands, stay safe. That's pretty much it from all of us here at the Wednesday Buzz. We hope you have a happy and safe 4th of July, America's birthday. Well, I mean, technically it's another day, but you know what I mean.
Happy America Day.
Happy America Day. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much what it is. Tune in tomorrow for the Thursday edition, and if you like good food and good people, tune in on Friday for an exclusive interview with Chopped Champion, chef, author, and podcaster Eric Levine. And remember, if WMSC is down in your radio, Facebook Live, or YouTube, then Ryan.
Why is it even on? Why? Tell me. Don't. Have a good day. That's all you gotta do.
Everyone.